Good day, everyone. My name is Princess Jason Cordillon from Grade 9 Aquino, and this is my video presentation of our research paper entitled Smelted Ash: An Alternative Route of Fabricating Eraser without the presence of rubber. In this research, we basically conducted about the alternatives of making eraser without the presence of rubber. Rubber is one of the problems of environmental changes that we're facing these days. Commonly, DIY erasers are cornstarch based, but in this case, we decided to use ash as our base. Other people may see it as a waste, but little do they know that about its factors that's qualified for being the main ingredient. Faber-Castell, Stabilio, Stettler, Pilot, and Mongol. Seems unduly familiar, right? Classroom purchases are always the students' cup, love, and interest. Buying school supplies every beginning of the year is a time a dozen occurrence for every family with children. However, over and above the merriment we came into contact with or will be still coming into contact with, I know we don't recon enough about how much it affects our environment. As specified by the website DIY Natural, most erasers these days are made from either synthetic rubber or vinyl. Synthetic rubber is derived from petroleum, and the process of refining petroleum is known to have many negative impacts in our environment. And of everyone's knowledge, petroleum's one big impact in our planet is in global climate change. Schools' one major demand are school supplies. In the Philippines alone, there are 27.77 million students every school year. If we are to think that almost of those students cast off erasers, we could say it left a cosmic strain in our environment. Assuming of a solution, it would be to change the elements on making erasers, particularly experimenting alternatives for eraser by swapping rubbers with ashes. Ashes have numerous positive traits to become a more efficient eraser. We'll find out how effective ashes are by trying to make it with different ways and ingredients, such as steaming, leaving it in a natural air, combining it with cornstarch, which can be easily found at every home's kitchen, and other beneficial use aside of it being eraser. The peak of ash component is carbon. Carbon is also particularly found in rubbers that forms erasers. It also includes calcium, who plays an indispensable part in controlling soil together with magnesium, who is titled as the most eco-friendly and sustainable metal in the world. Along from this commences, we would inflate and expand more about the facts of our research. Now, I'm here to present you some things to help you to be more convinced with our research. I present you some good effects of ashes. You won't need to worry about unused ashes since ashes can be used in a lot of ways. First off, is it being used as soil amendments due to its rich amounts of calcium? Like in one article by Bob Shilden, an author of the Shera magazine says they contain lots of calcium, which neutralizes acidity, plus some potassium, phosphorus, and trace elements. Tomatoes can benefit greatly from ash because they are susceptible to blossom and rot if they don't get enough calcium. One more thing is you can use ash as an alternative for soap. Like in an article written by Shan White, a researcher for London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, she says that in low and middle income settings, ash is often promoted as an alternative to hand washing with soap. WHO guidelines currently recommend that ash can be used for hand cleaning when soap is not available. She also adds, however, in settings where soap is really scarce, hand washing with ash is likely to be more effective than hand washing with water alone. Another one is that ash can be used as a bug repellent, discovered by a group of researchers in Nigeria. Wood ash proved to be more effective in protecting the vegetables against insect pests, since it's recorded significant minimum activities of insects pests. Therefore, botanicals such as neem and wood ash could be considered as an effective and real alternative method of pest management. This time I will show you the negative effects of rubber. An example of the negative effects of rubber is a book entitled Death by Rubber Duck, authored by Rick Smith, that executive director of environmental defense in Canada, and Bruce Laurie. They describe the danger of phthalates that is used to make rubber in their book. One more book that describes the negative effects of phthalates, phthalates is the book of phthalates and cumulative risk assessment that tasks ahead. That is authored by a group of researchers from four different organizations, mainly in the National Research Control. According to Arthur C. Clarke, the most advanced technologies are indistinguishable from magic, which is wrong and very untrue, but still in all, that the world's most magical technologies were all related to computers. What could be more magic? Nonetheless, but erasers, the little wad of rubber that can undo all your mistakes and changes marked by tiny little pencil mark and human history. An architecture's most useful tool is an eraser in the drafting board and the wrecking bar of on the other side. Frank Lloyd Wright said, erasers are very useful that it helps someone to plan and build a structure. Isn't it wonderful how it undoes and erases all your mistakes, errors, and inaccuracies? Erasers are the most functional inventions that accidentally made. Rendered by Jim James, if you are to create other materials to make an eraser, you could actually also use bread. Modern pencils and other graphite-based writing instruments predate erasers, a method that existed for erasing pencil marks prior to the invention of erasers involved using bread. What worked then still works today. Ash is composed of many major and minor elements that trees need for growth, since most of these elements are extracted from the soil and atmosphere during the tree's growth. They are common in our environment and are also essential production of crops and forages, said by Campbell A.G. The pencil toppers and pink pearls of the world make use of pulverized pumice to add abrasiveness, and pumice is, of course, volcanic ash, documented by Megan Garber of The Atlantic.